This is Series 1, Episode 74. In this episode I'm going to be talking about Cognyte. It's a software company, security analytics. Now, I'm going to go straight into the technical setup. I'll talk about the technicals and then at least you can make an informed decision and decide whether or not you want to continue watching this video. Because I will talk about the technicals, then I'll talk about the company, and then I will talk about the overall market conditions because I think it's quite important. So let me go straight to the technicals. Now, as always guys, I'm about to talk about a trade idea, and this is for informational purposes only. If you decide to take action upon this information, that is your decision. You are responsible for all of your trading decisions. So it's a new company, came to market February 2021, as you can see, created a high, fell down, went back up, tried to break the high, IPO high, and then collapsed. So it is a new company. New companies carry more risk, but I'm trying to get this on your radar before it moves because I think it is going to move. So I'm going to start showing you what I'm seeing in real time. So the first thing I see, and I don't think I've ever talked about this in a previous video, but this is like a W forms, so I'll show you what I mean. A double bottom. So you see this high, price comes down, creates a low point, then goes up, comes down, creates an even lower point. A double bottom is formed, and then comes back up, and you get a W. Now the way to play these is you need to see a break of the previous high, which was here. So basically, as price breaks out above that level, that's a double bottom breakout trade. Now as you can see, we have indeed broken out of that double bottom pattern. So that's the first thing I've seen. I can also see, I can remove this afterwards, this cup of handle formation. So a base is formed. There's your cup formation, and then a handle is formed. So you have a cup and handle. So I'm just going to remove that because I don't want the screen to be too cluttered. But you see, so we have a double bottom breakout, cup or handle. So let's just get rid of that. Now, if I draw in a horizontal line, I want to use that to show where the major support and resistance levels are. So I draw that in there. Use the doodle tool again. Price is holding at that level, around $26.50. But why? Well, I'll show you. So look, let's go right back in the past, back to February. We can see that this low was formed here. Price price went up, came down and tested that level. Went up, came down, tested that level again and again. Eventually breaks the level, comes down. Comes back up, what does it do? The market finds resistance at that level, like a ceiling, falls away. Obviously it went through a little bit there, then it fell away. Comes back up, what does it do? Test that level again. Resistance, falls away. What does it do? Sideways for a bit, comes back up to the level. Tests it again there, and it looks like it was going to fail, but this time the market has pushed it through that level. So price is through this resistance. This resistance is now acting as support. So what I mean by that is price is now, this is almost acting like a floor for the price. It was the ceiling, now it's the reverse of that. It's now acting as support, like a trampoline. So you see how price is holding? Now it's got through the level. Very important. So what else do I see? Well, I see you can't see this on this chart, but I've already done my analysis. But there's a squeeze play happening. So it's basically similar to the sketches video that I did, my previous video, where price is getting squeezed and it's getting tighter and tighter, and it's either going to go up or down. And it should do that with momentum because price is squeezing tightly. So what I mean by that is you've got that box forming there. You're inside, the price is contained within this box. You'll see me talk about this all the time because it's all very powerful stuff. Price is contained. You see it going to go bang or bang. Hopefully up. The reason being is this is very strong support. We know that price is now stuck there. It's winding up, ready to explode, I think. So a squeeze trade, flag formation. So here's your flagpole. The price has come up, created a flag formation, and is consolidating, ready to make its next move. So there you have it, guys, in terms of the technical setup. Now, how about a trade idea? Well, let me get rid of all of that mess. I'll just draw that in just there, that bit there. So, ideal entry, $26.50-ish. 26.50 or lower, ideally. It's at 27 now, and the markets are closed. This is a Saturday as I do this. So it's 26.50 or lower would be nice. And so let me bring up a calculator. I've done this in a couple of videos recently. I'm trying to give you a trade idea. So you don't want to risk much on this, but you do want to protect yourself, because if it suddenly drops, then you don't want your stop too close, but you don't want it too far away. So let's go with a 10% risk reward. If it drops, say we got in at 26.50, drops 10%, that's a drop of $2.65, so your stop loss would be around $24. So I'll write that in. 24 is your stop. And of course, you want one-to-one risk reward as a minimum. So again, $26.50 plus 10% minimum. We want to see a minimum of 10% profit. Takes you up to $29.15. So we say, I'll just round it down to 29. $29 is the take profit, minimum take profit. So I want to look to the left now to make sure there's no major resistance. So we have this point here. So as price comes up, it's probably going to struggle there for a little bit, but I think this $29, $30 price target seems perfectly reasonable. So what I'd like to see is price eventually break out of this flag pattern up to here. Then I would take my money. Alternatively, of course, you could look at this as a long-term trade, because it's a new company, it's doing some good stuff, and I will talk about that in a second. So there's the trade idea. Of course, it's up to you if you act upon it. $26.50 or lower. Stop loss at 24. Take profit. Minimum take profit $29. So if you're still watching, I'm assuming that you're interested, so I will talk more about the company itself. So let me go back over to their website. We are a market leader in security analytics software that empowers governments and enterprises with actionable intelligence for a safer world. Well, basically what they do is it's very interesting stuff. From what I can see, I've watched a few of their videos. They kind of prevent terrorist attacks. That's just one thing. They link all of a company's infrastructure together. So the video cameras, the social media posts, and the software uses all this machine learning technology to pull everything together. It's really quite awesome, actually. They were able to actually prevent a terrorist attack, from what I understand. I don't exactly know where it was, but it was really quite clever how they did it. Because they looked on their software pulls all information from the dark web, the standard internet, all this information, pulls it all together, and then spits out probabilities of potential threats, people that might be potential threats. It's really quite amazing stuff what they're doing. So I really like the idea of a safer world. So that's what the company does. Of course, look at their website, Cognyte.com. Now let me just show you the financials. There's not a great deal of positive things there, but I'll just show you. It's such a new company, then you're not going to see a great deal of positivity with numbers, but obviously there's nothing here. We get to October, we start seeing some numbers here, but like I say, guys, there isn't really a great deal of positivity to be said about these numbers because it's so new. But there they are. There are some institutional owners behind this as well, but I have to trade what I see in front of me. Let's just go back to that technical setup. That price pattern is extremely reliable. Regardless of what the financials say, I keep missing trades because I worry too much about the financials, but the price action tells you what the stock is likely to do. And that price action looks to me as if it wants to go higher. So all I'm doing is highlighting this to you because I genuinely do believe this is going to move. I don't know when, but it should move relatively soon. I don't know, it might take a few weeks. But I try to get these things on your radar before they actually do move. Of course it could go down. That's why you have a stop loss, or you look at it as a long-term investment. Now then, if you're still watching, it's now just over 10 minutes. I will talk about the actual market conditions, the overall market conditions at the moment. You don't have to watch this, but it might be interesting for you. This is the Nasdaq weekly chart. You can see I've drawn a trend line in there. Just to show you, we can't ignore the fact that we're in an uptrend, very clear, regardless of what you hear on the news and all the negativity. Very clear, we're in an uptrend, so we can't ignore that. So until I see it otherwise, I have to trade long. And on this weekly bar here, you see, let me show you something. You see how price, let me zoom in, that spike, that shows you that the price this week, or just gone, went all the way down and then came all the way back up. That's very bullish. There were more buyers than sellers. Let's look at the daily chart quickly on this Nasdaq chart. Very bullish behavior. It was quite a painful week actually. You can see how price got lower and lower and lower, and my stocks have suffered. But on Friday the market rallied. So far so good. Let's have a look at the, what am I looking at here? The Dow Jones. Yep, Dow Jones chart. This is a weekly chart again. Again, I've drawn a trend line. Isn't it amazing how you can draw in a line that doesn't exist, but in advance, and you can see where price stopped. So I drew this line and look where price stopped at this week. Literally on that line. And there, and there. Now, each bar is 1 week. But it's quite crazy how this stuff works. And then, because it's psychological stuff. So let's look at the S&P 500 as well. This is also a daily chart. Now this was worrying me, because if we started to breach that line this week, that would have been quite a concerning signal for a possible drop in the market. But again, let's zoom in there. Look how we're holding on that trend line. Trying to go higher again. That trend line, it's probably worth you mentioning that again actually. You might want to draw that on your own charts. This is, like I said, the S&P 500. That's what this is. That line, you can see how strong it is. If we see a breach of this line, a significant breach, that could be quite troublesome, at least in the short term, because it's an obvious area for sell orders to kick in. So that's what might be worth you having a look at that on your own charts. So just highlighting everything to you, just for informational purposes. The market's definitely an uptrend, confirmed. All indices are going back up today, or sorry, yesterday. So I don't have any worries at the moment. And that stock I talked about at the beginning, Cognyte, it looks awesome, and I just like the story behind it as well. So the markets look good, at least for the time being. The stock looks good, so there's a trade idea. I'll go back to it if you like. There it is. So, yep, wish you the best of luck, guys. I'll do another video soon. Please like and subscribe. And, of course, I wish you the best of luck. Goodbye for now.